What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get this blown out, sexy, sultry, smoky cat eye. It is literally everything. I saw Patrick Ta do a look like this over on Amani, and I knew I had to recreate it on my channel. So if you guys are into celebrity inspired makeup looks, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on your post notifications so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload. Now keep in mind, whatever products I use within today's video can be swapped out with what you have at home. You don't necessarily need to use the products that I use. Just use what you have, follow along, kick back, grab your matcha tea, water, whatever you drink, and have a good time. So let's go ahead and zoom in and let's get started. So I'm feeling a little adventurous today. I definitely want to play around with cool tones. More recently, I've been really wanting to step outside of the box whenever it comes to my makeup looks and things like that. Like the other day, I did such a sick graphic liner for IGTV. I'll put a picture of it right here. So definitely check out that video. I love the way that the liner came out. Was it a little difficult? Yeah, but I really enjoyed stepping outside of the box. So today, I'm going to be doing a cool tone smoky eye. I'm going to be trying to recreate the look that Patrick Ta did on Avani over on his channel. I saw it and immediately I'm like, all right, I need to do that. So I'm going to take a little bit of eyeshadow primer. I'm going to use this one right here by Alter Ego. It is a little bit thinner in consistency, which isn't something I usually gravitate towards, but I've been using this a lot in some of my looks and I really love how it blends out. And more importantly, I really love how the eyeshadow sticks to it and adheres to it for a long period of time. They blend out very nicely. They don't get patchy whatsoever. So this is what I'm going to be using today. For eyeshadow today, I am going to reach into a higher end eyeshadow palette, so do not kill me. I've been itching to use my Natasha Denona GLAM palette. I picked this up a couple months back and I still have not used it on my channel. So I'm going to take this shade right here. It's a really pretty cool taupe shade and I'm going to put this in my crease and all over my eyelid. By the way, if you guys hear like a little like snore or just constant snorting in this video, baby Luna is actually in the room with me and she tends to snore really loud when she sleeps, so just ignore that, all right? This is me, this is my life, this is what I have to deal with. Then I'm going to switch over to a packing brush and I'm going to make sure that my lid shade is as opaque as possible. So I'm just going to go in and re-intensify this shade. Now that that's done, I'm going to take the shade right here. It's called Blend. It's in the second row. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this kind of in my crease, but I'm going to use it to softly just pull out this eyeshadow here. So I'm just taking my brush and I'm just pulling out the shadow. I'm mainly concentrating it in the crease. This is definitely going to give it a different color, gradiating from the lid to the crease. And again, I'm just using it to really just blow out my shadow. Now that that's done, I do want to go in with more of a deeper shade. Now, because I've watched many of Patrick Ta's makeup tutorials and I've been to a couple of his master classes, I do know that he really likes to work from dark to light. For me, I like to work light to dark because it's a lot easier to deepen things up as opposed to lightening them, in my personal opinion, but everybody has their preference whenever it comes to makeup. So I'm going to take the first shade in the second row. It is called Smoke, and I'm going to use this Real Techniques base shadow brush, and I'm going to dust some of this onto my lid just so that way, again, it goes from dark to light. Then I'm going to take a packing brush and I'm going to pack on majority towards the base of my lash line, and then I'm going to go back into that Real Techniques brush and just fade it into the other shades. Then with a clean brush, I'm just lightly going to diffuse out all the shades. So the next step to this look is going in with liner, and the liner I'm going to use today is by Makeup Forever. This is the Aqua Resist color pencil in the shade Graphite. I'm going to take this on my lash line, also on my lower lash line, and then I'm going to go to town and really smoke it out. Then I'm going to take an E26 by ColourPop, and I'm just lightly going to tap on the edges of this crayon eyeliner. Now I will be going in with some kind of black eyeshadow here in a second, but I just want to make sure I just lightly tap on these edges here before going in with the shadow. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Stone Cold Fox palette by ColourPop, and I'm going to take the shade called Rock Bottom. It is the black within the palette. Now keep in mind, if you guys don't have the Glam palette by Natasha Denona, you could definitely use the Stone Cold Fox palette by ColourPop to get a very, very similar look, if not identical. I just want a shade that's super, super black for this liner look, so that's why I'm dipping into this palette, because the shade in the Natasha Denona palette is more of an off black. I will be using it, but I do want more of like a super, super dark black for this step right here. After going in with that shade called Stone Cold Fox, I'm going to take the lash line shade from the second row in the Natasha Denona palette, and I'm just going to put it like right above that black. Also, before I go in and do any cleanup, I'm going to go in with that same liner, and I'm going to put it in my waterline to really just darken things up. Then with my ColourPop brush, just lightly gonna smoke it out. So I'm not gonna lie, I have been really terrible about buying makeup wipes, so I'm gonna use these by Almay. They sent these my way in PR. These are biodegradable, oil-free, micellar eye makeup removing pad. So I'm gonna take one and I'm gonna use it to clean up my wing area. I did end up cleaning up a little bit of that eyeliner I put down there because it was looking a little too thick for me personally. I'll definitely touch it up in a little bit when I get to my base makeup, but with the power of editing, my right eye is finally caught up to speed. I did already prep my skin for foundation. I also put on a little bit of sunscreen. I recently switched over to this, and honestly, it is very, very good and very hydrating. It's for the face and body, and it has SPF 60. I haven't noticed that I had any extra breakouts as a result to using it, so I will have it listed down below if you guys are interested in checking it out. But with that being said, I do want to go in with a little bit of primer. First, I'm going to start off with this by Too Faced. This is the Hangover RX 3-in-1 replenishing primer and setting spray. So I'm going to give my face a good spritz of this. In addition to that, I will be using the hydrating primer by Hard Candy. You guys know I love this. This also helps out with longevity, so it really just keeps my base makeup on, which is exactly what I'm looking for today because I'm gonna be filming TikToks. How many times do I have to tell you? I've just been obsessed, honestly. I'm just too addicted at this point. I'm also wanting to take some really, really dope pictures for Instagram. So I really want this to stay in place and I want it to last. Before I go in with my base product, I definitely want to use some color corrector. I've been using this one right here by Flower Beauty. Yes, I'm back on my color correcting game because I just feel like it makes a huge difference, especially if I want to go in with a product that isn't as full coverage as a full coverage foundation. So I've been back on this step. You guys know I was really into it a few months back, and then I just stopped because my skin was breaking out like crazy and I could not pinpoint what was breaking me out. It wasn't my color corrector because clearly I'm still breaking out, but Accutane is coming. Accutane is near. I'll definitely be documenting my journey for you guys, so stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. I'm telling you guys, a little bit of color corrector makes a world of a difference. I'm now going to go in with a product that is a little lighter in coverage. I'm going to use the Tinted Hydrator by Wet n Wild. I used this a few videos back and I really loved what it did for my skin. It has hyaluronic acid and squalene. It's also oil free and it's brand new. I'm mixing two shades, light medium and medium tan, in case you guys follow my shade as reference. I'm going to do a little bit of a cocktail, dot it onto my face and blend it out with a Equal Tools blending sponge. I am going to go in with more of a full coverage concealer. I'm going to use this one right here by Fenty. This is the Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 230. So now I'm going to go in with one of my favorite products. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I used to use this so long ago, but recently I started using it again, and as you can see, I really love it. So I'm going to take an e.l.f. sponge. I want to say that this is a new sponge that they came out with, and I'm just going to tap a little bit underneath my eyes to set. Because I still have you guys zoomed in, I definitely want to finish off my lower lash line. So I'm going to take an E26 by ColourPop, and I'm going to pick up the shade called Smoke, the first shade in the second row, and I'm going to smudge this on my lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the crease shade in the first row, and I'm going to use this to really smoke out my lash line. I feel like this part should be very, very smoky. I'm also going to take a little bit of that shadow and buff it into the liner so that way it's a little soft and diffused. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the shade called Lash Line, and I'm going to use this to soften up that wing as well because I don't want it to be too sharp. Now I'm going to go in with my face powder. I'm going to use the Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Powder by number 7. And I'm lightly going to dust this in all the areas where I did not put the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. For bronzer today, I'm going to use this right here by Milani. This is one of the Silky Matte bronzers in the shade Suntan. I'm going to take this around my forehead and just create some definition and dimension to my face because right now it's looking very flat because all we have is just a bunch of powder. So we're gonna bring ourselves back to life. I'm also gonna take a little bit of the bronzer alongside my nose to chisel it out. From there, I'm gonna take a little bit of my number 7 powder and I'm just gonna tap it over top of the area where I put that bronzer. You could also use like a darker face powder for this step to make it a lot more natural. So keep that in mind. But I also like to take just my regular face powder and just tap it over this area because it just blends in like a lot better. You guys also know I love to go in with a little bit of loose powder to pinch the sides of my nose. I've been using this one by Laura Mercier. It's the smaller version of their translucent powder. I'm almost out, which is great, but not really. Also, I'm really just trying to get rid of products that I've had sitting in my makeup collection. So I'm trying to use up all of the loose powders before I go out and buy more. I recently ran out of a lot of my affordable loose powders and I have so many high-end ones in my collection. So if you guys are upset that I'm using high-end makeup, I'm sorry. I just don't want to be wasteful. For blush today, I definitely want to do this one right here by e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is in the shade Bahamas. You guys told me that it was right here on the side and it's like mixed in with all of these other letters that I didn't even realize that Bahamas was the name. So huge shout out to you guys. This is e.l.f.'s new putty blush and I'm going to take it on a brush and I'm really just going to tap it onto my cheeks just to add some color. And even though we have a cool tone eye going on, I definitely want to go in with some warmth for my blush. Nothing wrong with that. And for actual highlight today, I want to go in with something that's glossy and wet. So I'm going to use this right here by Pixi. This is definitely an oldie but a goodie. This is the Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Subtle Sunrise. I used to use this so much. Again, it got pushed back in my makeup drawer. So just gonna pop a little bit of this on. And I see a little bit, but I mean a whole lot. I'm also gonna put some on my forehead. Cupid's bow. I'm gonna dust some of this powder off and stick a little bit on the tip of my nose and bridge. For lashes, I'm going to use this style of lash right here. It's by a brand called Alter Ego. I've been wearing these behind the scenes for a little bit. These are so cute. You guys know I live for a lash that kind of flares out towards the ends. These are in the style Amore. I did not have to customize these at all. This is just how they come. I think that these are really going to complement the eye shape I have going on. So I'm going to pop these on and then we'll come back and finish off with the lips. For my actual lip color, I'm going to be using this lip liner right here. This is by NYX. This is in the shade Cold Brew and I'm just going to lightly line my lips. I'm not going to use too much pressure because I don't want my lip liner to be too dark because I'm going to go with a very, very light nude lip color. Then I'm going to go in with this lip color right here. This is by MAC. This is in the shade Creme de Nude. This is one of my favorite ultra nude lip colors. Ugh, and I think it's going to look bomb with this look. So this is really pretty, but to me, my lips are leaning a little too pink. So I'm going to go in with this brown lip liner by Makeup Forever. This is in the shade Limitless Brown. I'm going to finish off with a little bit of my setting spray, do my hair, and then we'll be right back. And that is it, you guys. This is the final and completed look. Honestly, the smoked out liner and the smoky eye all together really make this look sultry and sexy, and I'm all about it. I really, really wanted to recreate that look that Patrick Ta did on Imani. So if you guys want to see the original video, I will have it listed down below. Definitely check out all of his tips and tricks because he is like literally my favorite celebrity makeup artist. And also let me know what videos you guys want to see next, because of course I want to continue to film videos that you guys want to watch. So leave me your recommendations, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on those post notifications so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.